I make benches, all sorts of benches. One thing they all have in common is they cost me nothing in wood to make. Benches are the main thing I make from reclaimed wood and pallet wood I gather in my town. At the end of the video, I explain how I manage my inventory to make much more money than what I actually stock in benches. But for now, let's get to my top 5 benches that I've built from free wood. My first ones are pallet wood benches. They are the easiest way to get rid of pallet wood because you can use any size, thickness, or type of pallet wood combined. First, plane them up to an even thickness, which also cleans them up for a cleaner glue up. Next, I rip them up into 1.5-inch slices. This is the thickness of the bench I will end up with. I then glue up my strips into a slab that will then become my bench. Use plenty of glue for those. You don't want any weaknesses, and clamp until you get a squeeze out of glue. The next day, remove the clamps and run the bench through the planer on both sides until entirely flat. I make my legs from reclaimed 2x2s that I also ran through the planer to remove the rounded edge. I use my palm router to do the edge. In this case, I use the 45-degree chamfer. Acrylic polyurethane gives the benches a proper protection for indoor use. Here's a few more examples of benches that were made from pallet wood. The next bench has a trendy look and is painted for the outdoors. It's also made of reclaimed wood. The first step is to make sure no metal is left in the wood and then plane it to an even thickness and to remove the rounded edge. I then cut all my pieces to length on the miter saw. Check out my channel for a full build guide for this bench. I like to use pocket holes when it's possible to hide them, to hold my wood joints. Make sure to use glue and clamps when assembling the bench and adding pocket holes. I use an outdoor ready paint in a nice vibrant red that is very popular on the marketplace. I received a few more orders after making this one. Next are what I called my log bench. I saw a post for someone getting rid of 16 of those 4 feet rough cut 4x4s. I right away wanted to make benches from them. I did a simple glue up and improvised a set of legs and underside support. It turned out great. It was a fun experiment and they all sold immediately on the marketplace. I've had my eye out for more rough cut wood like this. Next are the hardest benches to make in this list, the wedged in 2x3 and 2x4 benches. I start by finding the longer pieces of reclaimed 2x3s for the top pieces, scraps for the sides. Remove all metal and run them through the planer. On my miter saw, I use a stop block to get equal length on my pieces. There's 4 different lengths per bench. Once all the pieces are ready, I alternate them from one side to the other, so they are wedged in and the glue dries them in place. I clamp it all together, not too strong or it goes out of square. This is a hard bench to keep square and was a bit frustrating to make, but the results are worth it and they are worth a lot on the marketplace. I like their classic timeless look, which makes them worth it to make. I made them in different shape, length, and color, like this black one. Last are benches I made out of maple 2x6s that I found for free on the marketplace, because they weren't the full 8 feet or had defects that made them unusable for their owner's purpose. I cut them in half and did simple glue-ups, then used similar legs as I do on my other benches. I used the oil-based polyurethane on those, which gave great finish with minimal coloring. I tend to make legs for benches in batches. Here's a few examples of maple benches that I've made. They were all made from those free 2x6s. Now for some inventory tricks to make more on the marketplace. All those benches I sell, but don't have in stock assembled. I keep blanks without a routed edge, sanded, or color. I have blanks for other products too, such as this summer chair. Having assembled benches, chairs, and other furniture takes space. Keeping blanks unassembled takes much less space. In a few hours at most, I end up with a finished product ready to deliver to the buyers. Back to benches. Once I get the order, I apply that finish to the bench. This one has a 45-degree chamfer and a light brown indoor polyurethane with a black acrylic set of legs. I hope this video helps you realize the potential that recycled and reclaimed wood have. It's a great way to practice woodworking and can make you some extra money on the side. Those were my top 5 benches. I make all sorts of them, but those were my favorite. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. See you next time.